What's up, guys? If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, please smash that like button on the video and enjoy the show.
Obviously, with the election, like Trump has a good chance of winning, I would say. The part that I don't see this working as a journalist, and as like from every angle, I just don't see, is putting U.S. troops on the ground to take on Mexican cartels.
You don't think that works?
I just don't see it.
That would be very extreme to
I
have
talked
to do
to
that.
Ed Calderon, who was like the ex former like Mexican military guy and all that stuff. And one good point that he brought up that I was always thinking too, because obviously I cover immigration, was, you put military on the ground. Technically, Mexican nationals then could claim asylum in the U.S., so it makes this weird thing on immigration.
Oh shit! Yeah.
There's just so many things. So like when it comes to like people always want to talk to me about that part when we talk about cartels, and I'm like I just don't see how it's successful at all. First of all,
it would be a giant military operation against a country that is like kind of an ally.
Yeah,
there's arguments there, but like they're on our border too.
Yeah,
once you ring that bell, bro,
you can't go back.
Oh,
man.
That's scary.
Yeah, so that's where I don't see how that's gonna play out.
Unfortunately, I think the key here is cleaning it up on our end, and this is what sucks, because like I want to be the world's humanitarian at all times, right? But I also know how shit works, and like if you're the most powerful country in the world and you clean it up on your end, and that pushes all the cyclone of bullshit completely back into their end, it forces their hand to have to do more. Obviously, there's enormous entrenched relationships between the cartel and politicians and law enforcement at every level, but you would create in my opinion, far more white knights if like it was like, yo, it's us against the world because no one's coming in here to help us. There's always that opening of like, well, some of these problems pour over to America. I'll let it go. And you kind of have to have that in Mexico's case, that civil crisis, in my opinion, to actually fix it. I've never really seen a better argument than that.
And what's crazy, dude, is the border obviously made it 10 times worse. And then it started creating other issues. And the other issues now you have other gangs or other organized crime making their way into the U.S. that we'd not seen before. And this stumbles into the Venezuelan Tren de Aragua prison gang.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Let's go.
So basically, the border crisis starts in 2021. As reporters, we already know about Tren de Aragua in Venezuela. We've been kind of watching this group develop, crazy violent prison gang that originated in Venezuela, obviously, and criminals in every level, sex trafficking, human trafficking, they're in every kind of business. So little by little, I have contacts in South America start to say, hey man, like, just want to let you know, in this Venezuelan migration that you're seeing, you're gonna get some of these guys that are gonna make that trip. And so, that I'm getting that warrant early in 2021, but I'm not thinking much of it just yet. And also I'm getting caught up in other stuff. I went in the marijuana stuff and the Chinese. I'm not thinking Venezuelans. And then 2023 happens, and I'm started having these not daily, but regular calls with an immigration attorney. His name is Rolando Vasquez in Florida, who's like, hey man, I'm just letting you know, like 90% of my clients are Venezuelan, and like a lot of my Venezuelan clients are being extorted by this gang called Tren de Aragua. I was like, I don't know much of it. And little do I know that this attorney, bro, on his own starts to dig deeper and deeper. And then basically he's finding out that his migrant clients are being extorted and being threatened by this gang, and that gang is now moving into Florida. And then because this guy Rolando, this immigration attorney, was kind of getting involved in all this stuff, especially with his clients, that gang started to threaten him, started to send threats to him, to his wife, saying that they would kill him and his daughter. Just like saying, we know where you are in Florida and stuff. And they started kind of putting out the hits. His clients started to like get some threats, and then like little by little, a few homicides in South Florida kind of occur. I don't know if we could type it in, bro, like South Florida, Tren de Aragua, but some homicides start to occur in South Florida, and then he starts to send me these local news reports. He's like, hey man, you got to keep up with this stuff because something's happening with this Tren de Aragua prison gang. There's a lot of connections here. I know you've been following the Venezuelan migration and some of the crime. And then little by little, dude, this gang that was like not known at all, didn't even have presence in the United States, now is here, and like little by little was going to start to now make the national headlines. Not yet. First, they started coming into New York. So we have a lot of Trinidad Agua in New York that's already embedded with the Venezuelan community there, and right now in Chicago. Those were the first two hotbeds: is New York, Chicago, and then now we have South Florida. So in here in New York, they've already basically kind of got embedded in community. So they're like Uber, they could be Uber drivers, Uber Eats, delivery. But they're fully in New York. They've already been committing crimes. I've been speaking with some of the local reporters in New York following Trinidad Agua. Trinidad Agua then is in Chicago, and then now the other one here is South Florida. So they've been committing some homicides in South Florida. The one that put it on the line, bro, is that one. Is the they lured a woman to a Miami-Dade hotel and then murdered her, and they found out that they were Trinidad Agua.
Venezuela's vicious Tren de Aragua gang, known for its brutality and dominating narco-trafficking and black markets in an area of South America, is operating in South Florida, according to federal and local law enforcement. A recent murder in Miami-Dade County is evidence that members of the transnational criminal gang used women as a lure and worked out of hotels in Medley and near the Miami International Airport, according to police records. Detectives gathered evidence at La Quinta Inn and Suites by Wyndham Miami Airport East, just south of the Miami River, and at the South River Suites in Medley, across the street from a canal that runs across Okeechobee Road. Records show a homicide investigation related to the gang started late last year after a 43-year-old Venezuelan man who lived in Doral turned up dead in his car at about 9:50 a.m. on November 28th near the intersection of Northwest 28th Street and 37th Avenue. Court records show women lured the victim at about 10:20 p.m. on November 27th to La Quinta Inn and Suites, where a group who was in a silver sedan kidnapped him, robbed him, burglarized his apartment, frightened a victim at his apartment, and took his life, according to an arrest warrant.
Then really quick, bro, because we're on this subject, if you could open up another tab, and this so the people know, the Trinidad Agua was so sophisticated in the human smuggling of bringing in other Venezuelans and other members of Trinidad Agua, they finally got Trinidad Agua put sanctioned U.S. government. So now they've been actually saying, like, they basically brought in so much illegal immigration through human smuggling. They literally, bro, were sanctioned earlier this month. This is on July 11th. They finally been hit. They finally got hit with a sanction from the U.S. Department of Treasury's office, dude.
About time. All right, so today the U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control sanctioned Tren de Aragua, a Venezuela-based transnational criminal organization that is expanding throughout the Western Hemisphere and engaging in diverse criminal activities such as human smuggling and trafficking, gender-based violence, money laundering, and illicit drug trafficking. Today's designation of Tren de Aragua as a significant transnational criminal organization underscores the escalating threat it poses to American communities, said Undersecretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence Brian Nelson. As part of the Biden-Harris administration's efforts to target transnational criminal organizations, we will deploy all tools and authorities against organizations like Tren de Aragua that prey on vulnerable populations to generate revenue, engage in a range of criminal activities across borders, and abuse the U.S. financial system.
And then open up one more tab, dude. And this is the one that put it on national headlines. And then put the forgot her last name. Put the Georgia nursing student murdered.
Oh yeah, what was it? Locke and Riley.
There it is.
Yeah. All right, so
really quick, guys, because I want to break something down in this case really quick. So let me some context here. Why this is really important and why that sanction is important. When it comes to Trinidad and Venezuelans, bro, if a Venezuelan crosses illegally into Texas, so these guys entered into like El Paso, right?
Yeah.
They entered illegally. Border Patrol apprehends them. They run a background. Because Venezuela won't share anything, we don't know that they're gang members. Obviously, they don't have anything here. This is the first time here. So then they get released into the country with an NTA. That's a notice to appear. So a lot of these guys get released into the U.S.
Yep.
with a future court date. But the thing
That's
is
5 years away.
5 years away. So you have that. So this is what happened with these guys, bro. The guy who killed Lincoln Riley, he entered the country illegally and he checked out. He entered through El Paso in April, and he checked out. His brother, I believe, goes into through Eagle Pass, Texas. Background checks out. Now, right. The guy commits a murder. So what happened? So obviously we're gonna go do an investigation. So police went to go look for Jose Ibarra. This is Jose Ibarra, the guy who killed Lincoln Riley. When police, and we have it from our sources too, confirming with the headline. So then when police go to get Jose, they accidentally get his brother. So they start interviewing the brother. And the brother presents them a fake green card. fraudulent. So then obviously they find out that it's fraudulent, and then they find out that he entered the country illegally, and then that he was a member of Tren de Aragua. Both of these guys,
that's nice.
both of these guys had the ties, had the tattoos, but they find out that they've used fraudulent documents, and then like they both entered the country illegally through Texas, and were released by Border Patrol agents. So obviously, guys, when the border stories is happening, like in 2021, no one thinks this is gonna, you live in Ohio. These people are in Georgia, so you're like, oh yeah, this is never gonna impact me. It's a Texas, Arizona, California thing. And guys like me always try to raise the alarm. No, it's coming. It's coming. No, it's just your problem. Now look at that, bro. Now and then look. Oh yeah, that's not like, look. His brother Diego was detained after police department to be showed them fake green card. Doom.
That's fucking insane.
And now, for the first time, dude, Tren de Aragua makes national headlines. National. Now the whole country knows. Now CNN has to cover it.
But it's
MSNBC.
also along party lines too, in a way, which is so fucking stupid. Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.